greatest show is now on Peacock, and it's happening in real time. There's still 2 more episodes to go. It's called Paul T. Goldman. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it is truly unlike anything anyone has ever seen before. Don't shake your head. Yes, you're on the payroll. H-man. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's your brother. Of course you're supposed to think it's good. No, but it is good. It's better than good. I don't know why you'd only say it was good. It's great. It's a little insulting to your family. But look, you do you. No, it's called Paul T. Goldman. It is conceived and directed and produced by the amazing Jason Woliner, who is in the studio tonight. How are you?
I'm good, Tom.
Good.
How are you? Am I
good.
all right?
You're
Thanks.
all right,
Thanks.
yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
No, thanks for having.
Great
thanks
to see
for
you.
coming in. It's exciting. You're on the show now. This is the first time on
this coast.
It's the first time on this coast you've been on the show, right?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been on mic in the studio.
Yeah,
It's very exciting.
you know that's the
Should
camera right there.
I can face.
You can
be
shade
more
that way.
sideways.
And you're not getting anywhere near the camera.
Okay. I think
No.
there's an offer code that I heard on another podcast. Goldman, 3 months of Peacock, $2.99 a month.
Okay. Well, then that'll get you to the finish line on the show because it's 6 episodes.
6 episodes. We have 2 more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want if you want to keep Peacock after that.
And maybe you fall in love with it. Who knows?
Maybe.
This show, Paul T. Goldman, and I'm not joking when I tell people this. It's you've been doing this for a decade, over a decade.
I've been working on it for 10 years. I've been shooting it off and on for the last 10 years.
Yeah. And if you had to give somebody the short version of what it's about, I'm sure that's tricky because there's always you're leaving out 3 elements for everyone you say. You're leaving something out.
I should be good at this by now. I'm not. It's a series about a man telling his story, which involves him marrying a woman who he found out later had a secret double life, and the actions he took after he found that out.
Yeah, and it's you. He wrote this guy Paul T. Goldman.
Paul tweeted at me in 2012.
Yeah,
and he said, "I have an amazing story to tell. Will you help me film it?" It was a movie at the time. He said the screenplay is written. Read my book, and the screenplay is all ready. And I wasn't the only person he tweeted at. He had said that to hundreds of other people on Twitter.
He tweeted like at everybody who had like a check mark.
Yeah, I thought at first it was like everyone who it said director somewhere in their bio, but then we looked at it for the show because we actually this coming week gets into that a little bit, and you see I screen grabbed all the people he tweeted at. It was like people like Hugh Hefner. So
yeah.
It was really he was just throwing it out. He was knocking on doors, and I answered.
And he was saying, "Hey, I wrote a book, and I think it's a story that should be told."
He said, "I have an incredible story. I wrote a book and I wrote a screenplay, and will you help me make it?" And so he had a website. It was duplicityonline.com. The book is called Duplicity, A True Story of Crime and Deceit. And he had a video that he had shot himself detailing his story, and I became very fascinated and interested in this man.
And then then there was the idea at some point was that, yes, we'll tell the story. And since it's such a singular story, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it just seems like it's like he is the story.
Yeah, I kind of watched him quietly. I wanted to make sure I didn't think he was nuts or dangerous or whatever before I engaged with him, or that the story was too sad, or and then eventually a few months later kind of determined I felt like it was worth pursuing, and so I reached out to him. He was living not far from L.A. He was living in a place called Newport Beach, and I met with him at a cheesecake factory.
Sure.
And
Do you remember what you got?
I think I probably just got like a salad.
Okay.
And I think I needed to figure this out for the show. I think he got some kind of
Avocado egg rolls.
I think it was like a turkey club sandwich or something like that.
Okay.
And we met for about an hour.
Fries.
I was probably trying to avoid fries. I imagine he got fries.
He probably got fries with a turkey club.
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
Palmer,
yeah. He
maybe.
likes, he enjoys, like, he loves In-N-Out. His favorite thing is a double from In-N-Out. He gets them multiple times a day when he's when he's been out in LA shooting and doing, he did Jimmy Kimmel a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
He's at In-N-Out a lot. So he enjoys, good, tasty food.
Sure.
But he, I was just like, I think the best way to do this is have Paul star as himself, but I also didn't want it to be like a prank or mean-spirited. He's not a trained actor. I knew it would be not a traditional move. And
like,
so
it's fun. It's fun seeing him do it, but he is it's not like it's not a hidden camera thing. He wrote the thing. He's acting out the thing that he wrote.
He wrote it, and I thought very early on that would be the way I wanted to do it, but it didn't happen until about 2 years later. We were out in LA doing auditions. He'd moved back to Florida. We flew him back to LA to audition actors to maybe play him and to play his ex-wife. And then he was reading with the wives. And then when he was doing it, he just looked at the camera and started talking to the camera.
Okay.
And he's like, "What do you think of that?" I was like, "That's great." Because the whole idea was just kind of follow any of his whims or how he wanted to tell his story. It was all about kind of looking into his brain. And that day, he kind of, I think, half jokingly mentioned maybe I could play Paul.
Yeah.
And that was already, I just kind of was hoping he would arrive there on his own. And I don't think he was totally serious because he didn't, who would think they could do that?
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, maybe you could, maybe you could. And then he got excited about the idea. But every step along the way, I was kind of waiting for him to arrive at things I already had kind of had ideas about.
Sure. But then the thing with him is he is incredibly good on camera. He really is.
I think so. I love watching him, and it's not just because it's like a so bad it's good.
No.
thing.
I'm saying, like, when he's acting, it's sometimes it's better than other times.
Sure.
But it's his. But when he's addressing the camera, like, he holds the camera.
He's extremely charismatic.
Yes.
Yeah, the interview that we did that kind of ties the whole show together against that like blue-gray background, that was in 2014. That was over 2 days, 11 hours of interviews. Yeah. And we did like a fake like Errol Morris Interatron thing where we had a little monitor and he could see my face and he just held the camera and talked for 11 hours and told his whole story and
which is an incredibly tricky thing that most people don't have that.
I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want to do that.
To actually talk to the camera as if you're just in conversation it's a tricky thing.
Yeah, and he was just extremely confident and has such a sense of self and you can see there's all these moments on set. He's just he's just fully himself. He has no sense of shame. He has no guile. And everyone really liked him on set. That was the other thing is like, and I wanted to show how everyone got along with him. And, I wanted to look at all sides of Paul, but by no means for this to be an attack on Paul or like a freak show or just to be laughing at him. I understand there are things that are funny, I think, but also to me, there's a lot it goes a lot more interesting, to interesting places than that, hopefully.
Yeah. And look, I have the advantage of having seen all of them, and it's one of the craziest rides that there has ever been, because if people were to write down after they watch episode 1, they go, "Oh, this is what I think this is going to be," and then they fold it and put it in thing. Then they watch episode 2, like, "Oh, well, that wasn't anything like I thought it was, but here's what I think episode 3 is going to be." They write that, throw that out too. Every time they'd have to throw it out. And especially you could write one halfway through episode 6 and you'd be wrong.
That's true. Yeah, episode 6 is a lot going on. And the finale is an hour long. There's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's funny, it's intriguing, it's thrilling. You're doing all these things. It's like a true high wire act for you to keep all of these things happening simultaneously. It's really impressive.
Oh, thank you.
And but it's just entertaining also because you're following this guy and you're realizing that this guy, just like everybody else, is not perfect, and he's got his good things and his less good things, and that's just a part of his journey through his own life that he's kind of now he's taking a tour through his own life at the same time you're telling him, you're filming him taking us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No. And we all have moments we're not proud of, and we all have moments people would laugh at. And I tried to kind of get all sides of it with this. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, some people would say like not getting somebody to do a voice on a popular cartoon they worked on after years, even though they were completely qualified, that would be like a
less shining moment.
There'd be
something you're
like
less proud of.
A stain on their history, not naming names, or somebody else would say having their 7-year-old text an adult over and over, just engaging in conversation. That would be a thing. We all have them. Well,
some of us, maybe not everyone. Maybe only people in my family.
No, look,
and Paul T. Goldman.
And Paul T. Goldman. No, it's really what have been the things, because as you told me about this back when this dude was tweeting.
Probably, the very beginning. I
remember hearing about it then. You're like, I got his book. The book is legitimately exciting, and I'm going toward this. Like, it was like, because Paul is going on an adventure in a way, putting himself out of his comfort zone in certain ways.
Absolutely.
But the reality of the matter is, so are you. This thing has been, and I could say as a spectator to your life over the last 10 years, you have been as much on a ride as anybody is on this, not knowing what the next thing is going to be.
I mean, people watch the show. Some people's reaction is that Paul is delusional. For me to take a tweet in a book and say I want to wrap a project that will cost millions of dollars around this guy because I'm obsessed with him and his story is equally delusional as anything that I show Paul doing in this show. This is a completely I mean, my favorite things are those that you watch and you just can't understand how they exist. And I tried to do that with this, where just the fact that you're watching this, I think that's why. I mean, people, like most of the response I've seen online is like the head exploding emoji. And,
exactly.
Which I think that's good. Is people are just they don't know what to do with it. I just hope they like tell other people to watch it.
Yeah, they should use a peacock emoji. And say, watch the show. It's because, you have been keeping this thing alive. It's like, and I don't know how specific you want to get with stuff. It's like to see a thing through for 10 years to get it to the finish line in this industry means something is basically declared dead at different points, and then somebody has to believe in it that much to say, like, no, we're not done yet. I'm going to keep fighting for this.
I mean, that is like a Paul T. Goldman level of tenacity with him trying to bring down this crime ring that he thinks he's trying to bring down versus like I was lucky enough, I directed the second Borat movie, and I was very fortunate that it was well received, and you come out of a thing like that and people ask, what do you want to do next? Is there any IP you're interested in? I said, yes, Duplicity, a true story of crime and deceit by Paul T. Goldman.
Like, you're like, I kind of like Men in Black, or, I like Men in Black. I like, Star Wars, obviously, Duplicity, Paul T.
We love him. We love him.
Like, wait, what was that third one you just said there? Which one? X-Men? No, the one before X-Men. Duplicity?
Yes, from Wimp to Warrior. Yes, that's the tagline.
No, you
No, I really wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to finish this.
Because how many points were there along the road where you could have just said, it's not happening?
Every point, I tried to make it as a feature film for the first few years. I couldn't get enough money because of the way I wanted to do it with these reenactments. It cost more than I was like, well, this is a documentary. And people wouldn't, we couldn't find the money. And it's like, oh, maybe it could be a TV show. You can get more money to do things if it has episodes. And pitched that for a few years, and then Hulu said yes, and then we did a pilot for Hulu. And the first episode of the show, a lot of that is the pilot we shot for Hulu in 2017. And then Hulu said no, thank you. Yeah. and then Quibi was interested, and me and Seth Rogen pitched the show directly to Jeffrey Katzenberg, and got going there, and was about to shoot it vertically.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I is when I got the Borat job, and so I was like, I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm not sure about Quibi, and then during that time is when Quibi went under, and so it's been false starts. It's been shooting a little bit. It's been shooting on my own sometimes, with just going to Florida with a camera. But it was, there's something. Yeah, I'm just extremely stubborn. If I want to do something, it's not because it's a good career move or a good idea. It's like, sure. Oh no, I want to do this. No.
That's a thing that I think is like a testament to your dedication to these things. Where just like this had every chance to go away over and over, but you kept fighting for it because it's something that it feels like it's something that you just wanted to see. As just somebody who likes things like this, you wanted to bring one more of them into the world, a thing that is like what is this kind of thing?
Yeah, that is. It is like, it's definitely a tribute to things in this realm that I've loved, like American Movie or a lot of Errol Morris movies, and just kind of portraits of outsiders, of interesting people who are extremely determined and driven and set in their worldview. And I wanted it to exist. I wouldn't let up. I also connected with Paul. I think as kind of, I really do like him. We are friends. You've known him for 10 years. And even though there's a lot of stuff that's very extreme in his story, I also found a lot of it very relatable and universal and human and related to the need to, be loved and just trying to have what you have been raised to think is a normal life, and all these things that he, his version of it is very different than yours or mine, but also not entirely different, at its core.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's Paul T. Goldman. It's on Peacock, and you could go get Peacock. There's a code floating around, Goldman, that you can get.
I think so. Is that right? Yeah, I think.
And I think people are kicking it around on the chat. So,
okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing that there 4 of them are out now. There's 2 more to come, and they come so this coming Sunday you'll get episode 5, and then the following Sunday episode 6, the finale will come out episode. So it's all within the month of January. So if you get it for a month, you can watch all the things in a month and still have
that's all you need.
2 weeks over. And like the dedication, and you saw it through. It's like that's something that even people in your family don't have that level of dedication. Like if they want to fight for, say, a friend a mentor, some would say, who's perfectly qualified to do a voice on an animated show, but they look away. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the no is the kindest thing, but the subtle turn away and the ignoring, and that's what hurts the most for us. And I'm not saying I know what. There's not anything specific. Just I'm saying that type of story. Or giving your phone full access to a toddler. Toddler? No. 7 and 7 times?
No,
a little older. To a little kid.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
She texts you?
Oh, yeah.
From his phone?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I've done 4 texts.
Oh, my God.
I do a question mark back, and I get a question mark in return. Like I'm being mocked. No.
Z-Man.
Come on, Z-Man. Tighten it up over there. Change your login. What's his number? What do you think his pass? Let's guess Z-Man's passcode. It's probably like Spidey.
What are the numbers that correspond to Wally? I mean, I'm not Mike, but...
Yeah. No. Can we throw this mic on, Andrew? There we go. Thank you.
Oh.
H-Man.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh,
it's
thank
the
you.
H-Man.
Hello.
It's my friend Harry, who I love.
I love you too. And don't think I haven't tried to get you on certain shows.
Okay.
It's just...
That's even worse.
I
So you mean the powers that be say no?
I mean, I can't go into it.
You're gonna throw your boss under the bus?
No.
Fine.
You gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I gotta show up to work.
I work on a different show now.
Okay. Well, I can. Does somebody go in a booth on that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No, it's one of those
Still
animated
applies.
shows with no
It
voices.
still applies.
Oh,
I'm just
boy.
I'm teasing. Look,
I know.
Busy. I'm too busy.
Beat
I couldn't even
red.
do it. I couldn't do it if I wanted to. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. My price is so high right now.
Yeah.
You couldn't even. How much do you think? What do you think I get for an hour in a booth?
I mean, I know what actors get for an hour.
What did they? Well, I'll tell you. We'll say them at the same. On the count of three, we'll say what somebody gets for 1 hour of their time in the booth. One.
Are we saying this for real? I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't say this
Oh, no,
information.
it's a union
It's
thing. You
scale.
can make the number
yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's not a secret.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. $78,000.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You're expensive. I didn't know your rate went up 78 times the rate.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what the problem is. It
Yeah.
turns out I was pricing myself out of the market. No, I'm just teasing you, Harry. You know that. And what have been some of the things that, like, you have been surprised by, Jason, as you've done this without giving, big pieces away on this journey? Because you started off thinking, hey, we're telling a story that's in the book, and we'll do interviews here and there, and then you learned more and more for a decade.
More and more. I mean, the big surprises came very late in the game, and a lot of them were part of the last episode. I mean, one of the biggest one that's been kind of gradual is me being in the show. I didn't want to be in the show.
Yeah,
I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be a Morgan Spurlock kind of guy.
it's just not who you.
A Jarecki kind of guy.
No, you're not Michael Moore. You're not the.
Yeah.
It's not a vehicle
No
for
slight
you.
to those guys. I didn't want to be like a on camera.
And I will attest to talking to you in real life. This is not some like false modesty, like, me on camera, what? I guess I could. It's like, no, you have been truly horrified by the idea of being. This is like an unfortunate reality that slowly started to enter the discussion with this show that you were not in favor of.
Yeah, I mean, I really, at the beginning, I didn't even want to explain anything about the show or when it was a movie.
Sure.
I was just like, just do the movie, have him be in it, and have behind the scenes, and people will figure out what's going on. And then we started shooting it. It was very clear no one understood what was going on. I was like, okay, you have to kind of explain it. And I was like, well, maybe I'll be a voice in it. And then there's a thing at the last episode.
Like
a voice. There's a thing in the first episode where I'm on set and I'm telling Paul, I'm trying to get him to not smile so much when he's learning very shocking information about his wife. And that wasn't, nothing, like, that wasn't planned. I wasn't like, okay, shoot me doing this. I'm going to go. Like, you tell I'm not trying to be funny. We all knew the cameras were rolling all the time, but that was really me trying to help him. And when we were editing that, the editor put that in, and at first I was like, take it out. But then I was like, oh, actually, that is interesting, because if you're watching this show thinking that whoever made this is just trying to like make fun of this guy because he's not a professional actor and he's kind of an odd guy, I was like, oh, you could put that in there, and then it could someone could see, oh no, whoever made this is actually trying to help this guy's performance. Seemingly, it seems earnest. He actually is trying to make him act a little better. So I was like, all right, that's an interesting thing to put it in. And then eventually, years into it, Paul one day just handed me a scene with dialogue for me, where he wrote a monologue for me to read that was about how I discovered him, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. And And at a certain point, I got convinced by a few like collaborators on this that it was like, you have to just admit now, after 10 years, you are part of this story.
Yeah.
And you did say you would be shooting whatever he handed you.
And that's, look, I would say that's a testament to you, to who you are, in the regard that you didn't make it. It was not a one-way street.
No.
When the reality became such that you're like, I think I have to be in this thing, then you were in the thing.
Yeah, I know, and I generally hide in everything I do, and this I had to be like, I guess I'm part of this story, and it's gonna get very meta and keep folding in on itself and become about the making of itself, and
I think that's what makes it exciting in a certain way, is that you can feel that it was not. There's no version in this thing of you. You had the master plan in place, and you're forcing a square peg into a round hole to stick to your initial vision no matter what. It's like you have consistently changed what this thing is over and over to fit the facts, and what the results of filming it, and what the results of learning things and learning who Paul is and all this stuff. And like, you've changed, like the mission statement would have changed over and over for what this is over the decade.
Yeah, the ending has entirely changed from what I thought it would be for most of the time, just in the past couple months. And that was probably something from working on Borat with Sasha, is like his whole process is just, you got to roll with it. It keeps pivoting. It's just, you keep following new ideas and you try to land on the right one. Everything I'd done before that, like I did this show Eagle Heart on Adult Swim, like the stuff that kind of came from me and a few friends, was very much about, you have an idea that you like and makes you laugh, and you figure out the best way to do it. But it's really about doing service to the original thing that made you laugh. And this had to go, I had to force myself to work in this other mode of not knowing where I was going, and really just trying to, like, we had hundreds of hours of footage. The last 6 months I've been in an editing room, and you have to basically, to do something like this, I learned, you just keep watching everything you shot, and then you try to hear what it's saying to you. And if you go in with a story you want to tell, it's not going to work. It's going to come out feeling false. But if you just keep watching and watching and watching, it's like, oh, I see, the story with this person is this, or this person had this role. I didn't realize that. And once you figure out what it's telling you, then you kind of put it together in the most understandable, cleanest way. But you really have to be open to it telling you a completely different thing than you thought you were telling with
Absolutely. And that's what, like, when people start going upstream against the reality of what something is when, that's when you start to see the cracks in something, and when something is just like, oh, it's not, something feels off with this. And that's one of the things in this, is it feels, you can feel the sense of everybody is going somewhere that they don't know where this is going to end up. And that's the truth of the matter. I can attest to, having talked to you throughout this process, is like, you did not know certain things that are now in the thing, and you worked all of them into the thing.
Yeah, and you would see, I showed you multiple versions of different episodes, and you would just see how it's like, yeah, we just did months of work that we threw out, or that, you look at it and then you're like, this is not true anymore. This is, this point I was trying to make is not valid, and you throw it out.
And that stuff, and there's so many side roads and detours that did not fit anymore, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, we had no plan. Peacock, amazing work with them. All their notes, they got it. They were trying to make it a better version of what I wanted to do. Never really had that experience before. And I came into them with like a few paragraphs of like, here's what this episode is. I think, I had 100 and something pages of his script. I was like, we're going to shoot all of this stuff in 15 days and combine it with all this other footage we have and try to make it make sense. And, astonishingly, they were okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you said Eagle Heart because you did all 3 seasons of Eagle Heart.
Yes,
directed and wrote.
Adult Swim show of early 2010s.
Yeah, and Adult Swim, that's where I did my first voiceover thing, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I was a character on season 1 of that.
Oh, wow.
Did a voice on that. That's where my journey started.
Yeah.
I know where it ended.
It certainly it did. I do too.
A wall.
It hit a wall in her. Yeah, no, it's no, you know, Joe.
Of course.
Again, you couldn't afford me. On your best day, you couldn't afford me. I just got a text. Do we want to complete the triumvirate?
Wait, is
For
it
a couple, I can't
triumvirate?
say it out loud.
Is
Then
it
say
Wally
no.
or Z-Man?
It's Z-Man. Leah's put Z-Man through. We might as well just.
This has never. Has this ever happened before?
No, this is
No, I don't think
never.
so.
Literally, not even a family of.
Has anyone wanted this to happen before?
Let's see. Put him through.
Hey, Tom.
Everybody has to different. What's your Wally sound like?
Oh, God.
Come on, just give it to him.
Hey, Zach, it's Wally. How's it going?
It's all right.
No.
Mine is more like you do the bright Wally.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah. Mine is like, hey, I just want. Mine has like the
The cracks.
yeah, has a little the cracks showing my Wally. Best show, hello. Hello, Best show. Do we got this? No, I don't. Where'd he go? Did I hang up on him? I think I might have hung up on him. Sorry, buddy. No, you call back. You call back.
Z-Man.
Call back. Yeah, go ask your child for the phone. And, call back. Here he is. Here we go. Hello. Oh. Come on. Hello, Best Show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, it's good. How are you?
Doing all right, thanks.
Oh, you sound mad. You're mad at
You
me.
all right?
Part
You're
of
mad.
things.
You're mad
at
I know
us?
you're mad at me because You're mad at me because your child texts me somehow. That's somehow on me. Look,
I'm not mad at you at all.
Look.
I wanted to explain.
Are you mad at us?
look,
Why would
Zach.
I be mad at you guys? Hey, guys.
Zach, I want to tell you,
Hi,
I'm
Zach.
we
Zach.
have Jason Woliner, director of Paul T. Goldman, in studio. No, we have
Ooh.
Harri Woliner, who is a friend of mine, and he's also
Paul T. Goldman, in some ways, we've said the human Wally Wackerman.
Oh yeah, there you go, Wally T. Wackyman. You slap a T in there, huh? Right? Can you do that?
Wall T. Wackerman.
I think I'll pass.
Wally T. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. Look, might I suggest? Do you have a refrigerator in your house, Zach? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then put your phone on top of it.
Wasn't it the iPad? I think she has access to the iPad, which is connected to
That's
the
what
phone
Oh,
number.
well, then that's different. That's totally different. Hey, Zach, do you have a refrigerator in your house? Yes or no? Put your iPad on top of it.
I was working. I checked the timestamp. She was upstairs after a bath, and I was working, and I had no idea.
You didn't give her the iPad to text Tom.
I don't trust
No,
it. I think it's you
it
now.
shares my contacts across both Apple devices.
This is going to
She
be.
saw it there.
This is going to be a thing
She's
where
very smart.
you're going to start to pretend to be Penny online with me, and you're going to. They'd be like arguing. Oh, this is Zach. Sorry about that. And it's just you alone. You're just like.
Trying to get Tom to say bad things about Zach to Penny. But it's really you.
Yeah. Yeah. Penny asking for my credit card number. Son, what about the 3 digits? What about the 3-digit code?
Zip.
Security code.
Zip code?
What's your zip? No, your zip for where the account is listed as. Now, Zach, have you seen Paul T. Goldman?
I've seen the first 4.
Zach came to our, we had a New York
Public.
friends and family little screening. Zach came, got to meet Paul.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
That's pretty amazing. And what do you think of it? Are you surprised by it? Are you, because you don't know exactly where it ends.
Well, I'm surprised by like the new revelations. I'm not surprised that it's amazing because it's coming from Jason.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to say.
I mean, it's hilarious. It's different. It's completely it's unique thing, and it's just perfectly a Jason project. And I'm so proud of it.
Oh, that's very nice, Zach. Thank you.
And look, it's important for us to promote Paul T. Goldman, of course, but the real thing that's important today, Zach, you know what it is as much as I do. They got rid of some pasta that your kid likes to eat, and you're all mad. I never saw anything. It was like suddenly I thought it was like Norma Ray in here. This guy's taking a stand. I never saw somebody take more of a public stand for justice than
on what
Zach
on what social media?
Truth Social. He was on Truth Social.
God, come on.
He was
Well, if you
putting
saw it,
his
that
truths.
means you are too.
He was putting people were sending me screenshots. I would never be on Truth Social like that.
The account is MAGA E Wackerman.
That Zach, and I want you to be truthful on this. Somebody comes to you, $15,000. They want you to do 1 2-hour MAGA E Wacky Man show. It has to be jokes about senile old sleepy Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi. You got to do all the jokes. And then you bring up George Santos comes up. And the two of you are in conversation with George Santos.
You interview Zach and MAGA.
Wally.
Yeah.
Wally.
Interview in conversation with George Santos.
George Santos.
You would do that, right? You should do that.
$20,000.
It would have to be a lot more than that.
20 grand. 20 grand.
That's a lot of money.
Cash. 20 grand cash.
You're going to say no to that? You could take the money and then you denounce it afterwards. You could say Wally's politics are different than yours.
Yeah, his Wally ticks. Yeah, they're his Wally ticks.
This is my one iconic, character, my one creative outlet. I'm not gonna.
No, what about the guy with the
the
round head? What about one of the lesser known puppets?
Yeah.
Make him the Republican.
Well, look, also,
You got the rat puppet, right?
yeah, use the rat puppet. But they want Wally, though. They want Wally. Got to put the MAGA hat on him.
20,000, you got to do it.
20 grand? Well, Zach, I'll do it. You can have the whole 20 grand. I'll do it for you. You just pay my car, pay for my Uber to this mansion. Hey, guys. Mr. Trump's going to be back in the White House again. Fingers crossed. Purple fingers crossed. Zach, I was searching through. I was cleaning up beginning of the year, throwing stuff out, going through a pile of papers and whatnot. I find a weird purple square.
I knew this was.
And I looked at it for a good 5 seconds, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? And then I realized for charity, not for charity, for money,
No, fundraising.
you chopped up Wally Wacky Man for money and you tore pieces off his face and sold them.
That's not exactly how it went, but yeah.
No, you did a thing. And how are you doing the Zany Zach, the Jolly Jester? Is that happening in 2023?
I'm hoping so. It's still working on getting it really up and running. I haven't really.
What about that other Zany Zach you discovered on that website?
Yeah, I just
You're going
found
to
this
war
thing
with.
recently.
What's that website?
Googling Gig Heaven.
Gig Heaven. So that's only dead performers.
Yeah.
You found a different Zany Zach.
Yeah. He's no longer with us.
Yeah, it already is rough because like the handles on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are used, and like the Twitter one's been suspended forever, and the Facebook one is empty.
Why?
Someone else's account.
At Zany Zach is a suspended
He can't use
account.
it.
It's been that way for a long time. I'm asking Elon, hey, can you help me out?
Are you
But,
really?
I haven't heard back.
Are you really?
I tweeted at him once.
Why don't you do Zany or Zach?
Yeah.
Well, that's not what my whole thing.
You should ask Ian Miles Chong to ask Elon.
Who?
Or
Why don't you
Mike Cernovich.
Wacky Zacky?
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah, it's
zany.
too close
It's too close to what? Your own puppet?
to Wally.
What? No, then you got. But then it's under the umbrella. Wacky Zacky, Wacky Man, everything. You want wacky, you call Zacky. Right?
Sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And look, what's up with this pasta? What did they get rid of? Barilla?
It's Ronzoni Pastina, right?
Ronzoni, yeah, they're stopping their pastina, which is like a favorite of my kids. Like especially if like we make a dinner and they're not into it, my wife makes them quick pastina.
And what do they like? What do they like about this pastina? The smaller pieces.
Yeah, it's like little tiny little stars.
Okay, well,
pasta.
here's something I want to tell you.
Simple dish for kids.
Okay, this is my solution for you. You know, pasta when it's all in the box and it's dry and stuff, right? Take the bigger ones and smash them in half. Now they're smaller. Now they're smaller.
They're smaller.
Yeah, just put a whole lot of sauce on top of it too. Yeah, it's under there. Yeah, they're stars. Yeah, you'll eat it if you want your iPad back. If you want this iPad back. Now, Zach, it's great to talk to you. We're all proud of Jason. He did it.
Yes.
He did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
He did it. He did. Paul T. Goldman. And I'm going to say this. Zach, you've not seen all 6.
No.
Harry, you've not seen all 6.
No, not yet.
I've seen all 6. I'm going to tell people this. If you've seen 4 of the 6, you don't know where it's going. You got to get on the ride. It is a thrill. It is shocking. It is hilarious. It is surprising. It is very human. And it is totally unlike anything else that anybody has ever done. And you've been working on this thing for 10 years. You were doing it first, and it's not like anybody else doing anything else. You have a clear path on this one, Jason.
Thank you,
You're the
Tom.
only one. And it is
It's own thing.
It is its own thing, and it pays off, is what I want people to know.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. I'm excited for it to come out and hear what people think.
Yeah.
And go into hiding,
then go into hiding.
immediately after.
Yeah. And where is Paul out here now, or is he all over the
Paul
place?
is back in Florida, where he lives currently.
Okay. And then I'm sure you have no idea what you're doing next.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Some other impossible projects that I've been trying to get done.
You definitely shoot high.
Shoot and land low.
That is the one thing. No, you shoot high and you hit high. You know.
We'll see. We'll see in 10 years. I'll be back.
Yeah. Other people in your family could use a little bit of that backbone that you have in terms of sticking up for friends, sticking up for people who went to their wedding.
Yeah, of course.
Special family. Those are sacred events.
Yeah.
And the attendees at them, they are all bonded together.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think, for example, if there's an opportunity to employ one of those sacred people that you are bonded to.
Yeah.
For a mere $78,000 an hour.
And I will cut my price,
Yeah.
$55,000.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll get back to you.
But as for, I take 5 minutes off of the
Yeah.
amount though. 55 for 55.
Yeah.
Go tell your boss.
Yeah.
Tom said he'll do the 55 for 55 deal.
Great. Yeah.
No, this is really, Jason, it's so great, and I'm so happy you told us all about it.
Thanks for having me on,
Yeah.
Tom. It's a pleasure, as always.
And Harry,
Yeah.
it's so nice to see you.
You too. Oh, before you kick me out of here.
Yeah. I'm not kicking you.
Oh, no, Lent is coming up, which means it's fish sandwich season.
It is fish sandwich season.
You still haven't done Ahoy, and you were looking for a co-host.
Yeah.
I am available. I'm happy to do it. I love eating. I love talking about eating. I'm more than happy to be that
Really
guy.
Putting you on the spot there.
I'm not saying you need to give me an answer now. I'm just saying I'm putting it in your mind that is an option.
You start texting me now, like
Yeah, I'm gonna
your niece,
I'm gonna have Olivia text you through my phone.
Harry.
Yeah.
I don't like bullies, except in this case. You're the co-host.
Well, there we go.
Lent is coming up.
Wow, Harry.
You just worked yourself. See how fast somebody can hire somebody for a job? See how fast when they want to? You see how fast they go, like, yeah, let's do that together. Yeah, join the team. Yeah, see, it's very easy. It's shockingly easy.
Yeah.
H-man.
No, we'll do it. You will drive around. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Got a Zoom recorder, 2 microphones,
Okay.
me and you.
Yeah.
Driving around. Because McDonald's is the top of the pyramid for the Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah.
Filet-O-Fish is the best fish sandwich, I think.
Okay.
Sure, it can be weirdly arbitrary where somehow one has a little bit dollop of tartar sauce on, and other times it looks like somebody poured a jar of tartar sauce on
Of course.
the Filet-O-Fish and then put the bun on top of it. Or sometimes they even put the bun on top and then I've had Filet-O-Fish sandwiches with tartar sauce on the top bun.
I mean,
They don't
stoned high
take there's not a
schoolers.
lot of care going into
Yeah.
the making of the Filet-O-Fish. The Big Mac, I'm sure they're like, oh, let's set this here and that. The Filet-O-Fish, it's just like wham, wham, wham.
Yeah.
Anything on that and not available after midnight menu doesn't get respect. But yes, it'll be a show where we review Filet-O-Fish sandwiches, Burger King.
Mm-hmm. Does Popeyes do one?
Popeyes does one
Okay.
around Easter.
Yeah. Okay.
Wendy's has done one in the past.
Yeah.
And then there's other Filet-O-Fish. There's like there's what
I
else?
mean, Arby's, I think, has
Arby's,
one.
I think, has one. Arby's has one on the Hawaiian bun. So
Yeah.
What if you and I go to that awful Arby's on Sunset?
Oh, of course, yeah.
The hat.
The one, the giant hat, the one that had one of the greatest things I've ever seen, where it said, "Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. 2 roast beef sandwiches for $6."
One
On the
thought.
same thing, they were just like, he had died like 2 days before. They still had to be pushing roast beef.
But
while people
was that the memorial deal?
It was not
Or was
a
it
Kobe Bryant. It was not a mourning opportunity to like. Although, don't give them that idea. They'll probably be like, "Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant." Best way to mourn him is to eat here, a place he never went.
Yeah.
He lived in this city for half his life. He never ate here once. It's called Paul T. Goldman, and it's on Peacock. New episodes, 4 are up now. 5 comes out this Sunday. 6 comes out the Sunday after. And I want to hear everybody talking about where they think it's going to go and what they think is going to happen, because you're all going to be wrong. I've had people say to me, "Oh, I went and I started poking around online." I was like, "Man, you're still not going to figure it out."
There's
You know what I mean?
A few things you can figure out.
But still, you're not going to get
No.
You're not getting the thing.
No, it's and we're trying our best to keep the whole show a secret.
No, it's great. People are going to love it.